Hi folks, this is the first video on my channel, so I don't expect many people to watch it, but whatever. This is what it's about. This is the internet, everything's made up, and the points don't matter, right? Anyhow, the point of this video is to get something off my chest. There are a lot of people out there who like to poke fun at fat people. This isn't a rant about that specifically. I'm not here to tell you not to make fun of fat people in general. That's a whole different can of worms that I'm not even going to get into. Uh, I'm more here to talk about kids. I have a little sister. She's going to be 13 soon. And she's a little overweight. We've been watching what she eats and making sure she gets regular exercise and everything, but, she's still a little on the heavy side. I recently posted some pictures online of her Halloween costume. We did a whole zombie thing this year, and she was really pleased with it, and so was I. So I put some pictures online, and I got a surprising amount of hatred for it. What kind of person do you have to be to make fun of a child? Even if it's a fat child, it's still a child. You can't blame that child for what their parents feed them or don't feed them. That's like blaming a kid for having red hair. They can't help it. They're only a child. There's nothing they can do about it. And, telling a child, making fun of a child for being overweight or something along that lines, excuse me, that's how kids end up with eating disorders and they become suicidal. And I know because it happened to me when I was younger. Nothing hurts worse as a child than to be called out for being different. Not even different in a good way, like being exceptionally smart or beautiful or having, a really nice voice or anything like that. But for someone to single you out for something that you as a child can't help, that's just wrong. I get that, kids will be kids and make fun of each other, and I'm not really talking about bullying or anything as far as one child to another, but I've seen so many adults who make fun of children, and it really just disgusts me. I mean, who do you think you are, and what gives you the right to make fun of somebody's kid? What makes you so special? What makes you think that you're so much better? That you're just allowed to be that judgmental of someone else's child? And you're not. You're not any better than that child. In fact, you're a worse person for having said those things to somebody so young and so impressionable. A child learns from every single experience in their life, and if you teach them at a young age that being different is bad, they're going to believe that for the rest of their lives. Being different shouldn't be classified as being bad. It should really be encouraged. Some of the greatest minds and the greatest thinkers of our generation and of past generations were so great just because they were different. I mean, being different doesn't make you a freak. It makes you special. And I just really wish that more people understood that. It shouldn't be about, trying to look like what people in magazines look like. And I think that a lot of kids nowadays, especially young girls, they're very impressionable, and they watch television, they listen to music, they look at magazines, and all they see is this image of what they're supposed to look like. But it's ridiculously difficult to look like that. The amount of work that models and TV stars put into their image, I understand that comes with the territory, but normal little children shouldn't be subjected to those same ideals. They're not celebrities, they're not models, they're children. And to give them the impression that they have to look like that, I just feel like it's wrong. And I've seen it happen so many times. So many children get the idea that, well, because I don't look like this, or because my hair doesn't look like this, or because I'm not pretty enough, I'm not going to be accepted. And I don't think that it's fair to subject a child to that level of judgment at such a young age. I mean, I get that being overweight, especially as a child, is really unhealthy and it's really dangerous. Don't get me wrong, I understand very well the dangers of being, severely overweight as a child. It carries over into adulthood and it makes it more difficult. But when you make fun of a child because they're overweight, all you're doing is making the situation that much worse. for someone who, has an eating disorder already, and most overweight children, especially teenage children, eating is a comfort. And so when you make them feel badly about their self and about their image, the only thing that you're doing is you're making the situation that much worse, because what they're going to do is they're going to go home and they're going to find some way to comfort themselves. There are worse ways that they could do it than eating. I mean, they could go home and cut themselves. They could be doing drugs. They could, be murdering people. It could be a lot worse than going home and eating cupcakes. I just feel like, I've seen a lot of adults who like to poke fun at children, especially overweight children. Like I said, I've had this happen. I've put some pictures up of my little sister, and there were so many people who wanted to poke fun at her just because she was a little bit overweight. And she's a beautiful little girl. She's intelligent, she's funny, she's great to be around, but nobody cared about any of those things. Yeah, I posted Halloween pictures. I expected commentation on the actual costume and not on, her appearance in general. And I was really, really disappointed with the kind of reaction that I got from them. And so that was what, prompted me to make this video, was to kind of get, my opinion out there. And it is just my opinion. Everyone has their opinion. But like I said, I've seen this happen a lot of times, and I've seen the kind of reaction that it has to a young child. And I just don't feel like it's fair to do that to a kid. So if you're one of those people, before you go and you shame somebody's child for being overweight, think about the kind of reaction that that's going to cause. Think about the kind of negativity that you're feeding into that child, and that's only going to breed more negativity in their life. If you really want to help them, encourage them in some way. Don't tear them down and make them feel like there's something wrong with them just because they're a little bit overweight. That's not the right way to go about it. If the intended result that you want to have is to make that child healthier, then shaming them and calling them out and pointing out their flaws is not the best way to go about that. And that's all I'm trying to say. Is just next time you go and you're going to make fun of somebody's kid, think about the kind of reaction that it's going to have before you do it, and, try to make a better decision. Thanks for watching.